Okay, let's just get right into it. The worst has happened. There's a hole in you that wasn't there a second ago. The world is gone, hospitals are a memory, and there's no one coming to help. It's just you, a lot of bleeding, and the very real chance that this is how it ends. But you know what? It doesn't have to be. We're going to break down exactly what you need to do to treat a severe wound when you are the only help you've got. This is battlefield medicine, apocalypse style.
So, we're going to tackle this in 5 stages. First, we have to face the brutal reality of the situation. Then, we get into the immediate, life-saving part, plugging the leak. After that, it's all about managing the wound itself. Next, we'll fight the invisible enemies, infection and shock. And finally, we'll talk about the win, understanding why this all works and what you've actually accomplished just by staying alive.
So let's start at that exact moment. The explosion of pain, the shock, and that cold, terrifying feeling that washes over you when you realize you are completely and utterly alone.
This is the first thing you have to get through your head. Help is not on the way. The only person on this earth who can save you right now is you. Panic? That's a luxury you just can't afford.
Let's be blunt. You are bleeding out. Your vision is starting to tunnel. Every single second that ticks by is a second closer to you becoming part of the landscape. This isn't a movie. This is the raw biological clock ticking down.
All right, so how do we turn this around? Right now, you have one job. One single solitary focus: stop the bleeding. Everything else is secondary. You have to plug that leak before you run out of fuel.
Okay, so what do you actually do? First things first, direct pressure. Grab the cleanest piece of cloth you can find, your shirt, a rag, anything, and shove it directly onto the wound and press down hard. And listen, do not peek to see if it's working. If the cloth soaks through with blood, do not take it off. You'll rip away any clot that's trying to form. Just slap another layer right on top. And if the wound's on an arm or leg, get it up in the air, above your heart. Let gravity help you out.
But what if you're doing all that and the blood is still coming? Not oozing, but pulsing out, bright red, and maybe even spraying. Well, my friend, that's an artery. And direct pressure just isn't going to cut it. You have to escalate, and you have to do it now. We are talking about a tourniquet. And what you use for it is absolutely critical. You need something wide, at least 2 inches. Think a belt, a dog leash, a strip torn from your jeans. What you do not use is something thin like a shoelace or a piece of wire. That won't stop the bleeding. It'll just slice through your skin, nerves, and muscle, and basically guarantee you lose the limb even if you survive.
So here's how you do it. Wrap that wide piece of material a few inches above the wound, so between the hole and your heart. Tie a simple, tight knot. Then, put a stick or some other rigid object on top of that knot and tie another knot to hold it in place. Now, start twisting that stick, and listen, it is going to hurt a lot. That's actually how you know it's working. You keep twisting until that bright red arterial bleeding stops completely. Then, you secure the stick so it can't unwind. And this is vital. Mark the time you put it on. Scratch it in the dirt, write it on your own skin, whatever you have to do.
And why is the time so important? Because you just started a stopwatch. You have about 2 hours, give or take, before the tissue below that tourniquet starts to die from a lack of blood. After that point, you're looking at a grim choice between bleeding to death or a self-amputation.
Okay, if you've gotten a major bleeding to stop, take a breath. You've won the first and biggest battle. But now we have to shift focus to the next phase, managing the hole itself so it doesn't kill you later. You have got to clean that wound. The bullet dragged in dirt, bits of fabric, all sorts of nasty stuff. Ideally, you want to flush it with boiled and then cooled water, or bottled water. And don't just dribble it in. You want a strong stream to really wash things out. If you happen to have hydrogen peroxide, use it once. It'll bubble out all the gunk. But only once. Too much can damage healthy tissue. After that, gently pat the area dry with the cleanest cloth you have.
Now, we pack it. This is important because it applies pressure from the inside to stop any smaller, deeper bleeding. You take clean strips of cloth or gauze and you start gently but firmly pushing them into the wound. You have to start at the very deepest part and layer it in until the whole cavity is full. I know this sounds awful, but think of it like stuffing a tiny, horrifying turkey. Once it's packed, you cover the whole thing with a dressing. And you know what? Duct tape works great for this.
So, you've plugged the leak, you've packed the wound, great. But you are not out of the woods yet. The bullet might be done with you, but what comes next can absolutely kill you. We need to talk about the silent killers, infection and shock.
Infection is a huge threat.
It can lead to sepsis, which is basically your body's own immune system going haywire and attacking itself. Now, if you're lucky enough to have some antibiotics like amoxicillin, take them. But if you don't, there are other options. Real honey, and I mean the real stuff, not the corn syrup junk, is an amazing natural antimicrobial. You can put it right on the wound. Crushed garlic is another field option. It might sound primitive, but believe me, it can be the difference between healing up and dying from a raging infection.
The other killer is shock. And shock isn't the injury itself. It's your body's massive overreaction to it. You need to watch for the signs. Your skin gets pale, cold, and clammy. Your heart starts racing, your breathing gets fast and shallow, and you might feel confused or dizzy. That confusion right there, that's a major red flag. If you start feeling any of those things, you have to act immediately. The response is simple, but it's critical. Lie down. Get your legs up on something to help blood get back to your vital organs. Get warm. Cover yourself with blankets, jackets, whatever you have. And if you can, sip water slowly. Your body is in full-on crisis mode, and these simple steps can help pull it back from the brink.
So after all of that, the pain, the fear, the brutal, messy work, you might wonder why any of it actually works. Well, the truth is, you weren't working alone. You were just giving your own body the backup it needed to do what it does best. Try to survive.
See, your body desperately wants to live. The second you were injured, it started the blood clotting process. Your platelets were rushing to the scene, acting like millions of microscopic sandbags trying to build a dam. All that pressure you applied, you were just helping them stack faster and build that dam stronger. You were working with your body to save your own life.
And that's really the heart of it. You faced an impossible, terrifying situation with nothing but your own hands and the will to keep going. The bleeding is stopped, the wound is packed, you are still breathing. And in a world like this, that is a win. That's an absolute victory.
But survival isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a process. This was just step one. You've won the battle for today, but now you have to start worrying about tomorrow. You've proven you can survive. The real question is, what do you do next?